Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back, Booze and Ghouls. This is the Living Dead fam presents the FogCast. I'm Living Dead Dad, and
Living Dead Mom.
this is what episode? What number are we on now?
I think we're on 7.
Holy, 7 episodes! Holy cow!
Pretty exciting.
This is crazy. Can't believe we've been doing this. This is our 7th episode. I'm really excited for this. That it's
We say that every time,
I
right?
know, but
It's
literally,
true.
literally, haunt season is in the air now.
It's upon us.
It is here.
Whether you guys like it or not, it's Halloween.
There's Halloween decor out everywhere now. The Spirit Halloween stores are open. And yet last night we were just at Knott's Scary Farm for their Nightmares Revealed.
Nightmares Revealed.
We are so stoked. We cannot wait. But tonight we're not talking about Knott's. And it might come up in conversation, but we got some special friends with us. Living Dead, why don't you tell them who is with us tonight?
We're so excited to have on Tim Ballard and Kat Ruiz we met them. So we're going to say from Knott's, but no longer at Knott's. They are now at a well-known full-time haunt in Las Vegas.
We are so stoked. We'll let you guys figure out where they're at.
So when we are now going into haunt, usually when we do an interview, it's after the season's wrapped and much more can be told. We're kind of going into a different season here where people can't really tell you where they're at, no matter what park they're working at. They can't tell you too much about the maze or their part in the maze, and that's definitely going to ring true tonight. So we know obviously they are from Universal Unleashed. They're in Las Vegas, but we can't really dig too much about where, what maze and stuff like that, because we are not here to push those boundaries and get anybody in trouble. So we're going to go ahead and bring them on stage and talk all things that they can talk about their journey, what this move has been like for them, because wow, what a difference in terrain and from seasonal to full-time. So we're really excited to talk to them. We're going to bring them on.
Please welcome to the stage. We got Tim in the house. What's going on, Tim? Good to see you. Welcome to the FogCast.
Hey.
And we also got our good friend Kat in the house. Welcome into the FogCast episode 7. We are so happy to have you guys here. Happy Halloween to you both. We are
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween in August. Let's go.
That's right. It's never too early for Halloween.
It is not. It is not.
Very, very cool. Tim, let's start off with you, my friend. How did your journey begin as a character? So you formerly used to be a character at Knott's Scary Farm. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what got you into working for the original haunt at Knott's Scary Farm?
So in high school, I forget what year it was. It was like 2004 or 5, something like that. Some of my high school friends convinced me to go to Scary Farm. I went for like a night and then ended up just falling in love with the event in general. And so I went probably 2 or 3 times a season up until 2012 when I showed up there and somebody from Ghost Town approached me, called me by my name, and I was very confused. I'm like, hold on, I have friends that are scare actors. What is going on? At the time, I was going to Long Beach City College, and one of my classmates came up to me and was like, did you have fun at Knott's? And I was like, how did you know I went to Knott's? And he's like, you remember the guy in Ghost Town? And I was like, wait, what? And he's just like, yeah, that was me. I was like, no way. And then later that year, in probably like February or March, he hit me up and was like, hey, do you want to come scare act? And I was like, me? Nah. He's just like, you should try it. So I was like, okay, fine. So Virus, Naaman, if you guys know him, he was in Ghost Town for a good 20 plus years before he retired at the 50th. He came over, helped me get the whole process going, took me to auditions. I went, and then that year I started my rookie season in Slaughterhouse for its final year.
I remember that.
The next year I opened up Special Ops Infected when it took over Camp Snoopy.
Yes.
The best.
If you guys remember that little area. And then I've just been kind of bouncing back and forth between haunts since then. So 2015, I did Horror Nights as Michael Myers. 2016 and 17, I was at Dark Harbor because I moved from LA to Long Beach and back. And then 2018 and 19, I was at Horror Nights again in a scare zone called Toxic Tunnel. And then 2020, I did like a COVID version of the Haunted Hayride. And then 2021, I found myself back at Scary Farm where I was in Carnival. 22, I was in Carnival again. 23, I ended up in Forsaken Lake after trying to get into Goring 20s.
Nice.
And then last year, I finally got put in Goring, and it was my favorite zone of the 3 that I worked in.
Very fun.
Wow.
So you've been all over Southern California to all the haunts. So you definitely
Pretty
we'll
much.
we'll get into here in a minute, but you have the extensive background there. I love it. Thank you so much. Kat, how about you, my friend? What got you into becoming a character at all these haunts too? Mind you, I know you're obviously here and the other place. So what got you going into this crazy, ridiculous world?
Well, basically, my dad got me into horror. He's a big horror fan. He would decorate the house every year, and everyone would want to come to our house because, like, dude, that's the coolest house I've seen on this block. And I went to Not Scary Farm back in 2011 when I was just 13 years old. That should tell you how old I am, not revealing my age. um, and I remember this one moment. It was in Carnival, and I was walking with my parents, and a bunch of clowns approached me. And you know, like those teens that pretend like they're not scared? That was me.
Yeah.
And then one of the clowns was like, this kid's boring. Let's go scare someone else. And I don't remember much of the event because it was like way over a decade ago, but it was so much fun. And I've been wanting to be a scare actor for so long. Back in 2018, I worked Soap City, and I wanted so bad to be a scare actor. That season, I asked everyone, hey, when are auditions for Scary Farm? When are auditions for Scary Farm? No one had an answer. No one had an answer. And then when I transferred to Knott's and I worked at Boardwalk Barbecue, I asked someone, they're like, oh yeah, auditions already passed. I'm like, really? I've been asking like everybody. So I worked my first haunt as regular employee 2018. And I didn't realize it was Dark Ride. I think it was Dark Ride. It was where Cinema
That
Slasher.
was a good one. Yes.
Yeah, where and I took a picture with one of the monkeys in there, and I'm like, I asked scare actors in Lakeside. I'm like, how does it feel like to be a scare actor? And he's like, oh, it's so much fun. You should audition. I'm like, yeah, I'll try. I didn't tell him about that, and then so many things came up. I wasn't able to do 2021, any of those years. And finally, 2024 came, and I finally got my dream job for a season. And I auditioned for Horror Nights before then. Unfortunately, I mean, if any of you, well, Tim obviously knows, but if you audition for Horror Nights and you don't get a golden ticket, that means you didn't make it.
Okay.
I auditioned, didn't get it, and I missed the in-person auditions for Scary Farm last season, but they had virtual auditions, so I auditioned for that, and I got it, and I got Scare Force, and I didn't know what that was at the time, but I'm like, cool, I get something, so yay me. But it was probably the best season ever. I loved it so much, being a different character every night. Oh, and shout out to Landon. He told me to give him a shout out. Hi, Landon.
Hey, Landon.
Lando.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Lando.
I just know you guys from your Instagram names.
Lando.
You guys are all awesome. We love Lando. He was an awesome force in Bloodlines. Could have missed that one. You know, it's pretty cool though, because even when you audition, the audition is a learning part. There's no such thing as a bad interview. You learn and share and go on from there, and then have an opportunity like right now to say, here's what I would have done differently, or moving on to that next one of nailing it the next time. And I think with what you got to do last year, Kat, was really cool because you got to wear a lot of different hats. That's a lot of experience in one season.
Oh yes, and for those who don't know, my favorite maze obviously and will still be Chilling Chambers, because I was probably the badass punk rock zombie twerking at everyone, all the scare actors, all the managers, and all the guests. And that's my haunt name.
I love it. I love it. That's a good maze. That's a good maze. Tim, you obviously have a lengthy history, and you have done just about everything. And not only just haunts, you are pretty cool characters at other events as well. You've done, it looks like, almost like a rave type shows. And tell us about that. How did haunting get you into that?
Kind of, because the first ever gig I did performing was a haunt thing. And then I think it was the year of 2015 when I did Horror Nights for the first time. Both of my supervisors were characters at Universal, and we're telling all of us Michaels, because we're all like 6 feet and taller, to audition to be like the Simpsons at Universal and stuff like that. I went to, I want to say 3 auditions before I ended up getting it. And then I ended up doing Homer, Krusty the Clown, and Sideshow Bob from 2017 all the way through 22.
Wow.
I was there for a good amount of time playing them. And then one of my friends who did like ground control, it's basically like harm reduction for Insomniac, which is the company that I also perform at now, got me into ground control. And I did that from 2021 up through EDC of 23. And then a friend from Scary Farm posted that she did Apocalypse as a performer and gave me the information for that. And so I submitted for Apocalypse, got into it. But before that, they booked me for Escape. So I did Escape, Apocalypse, Countdown, Beyond Wonderland, SoCal, Beyond in Washington, and EDC Vegas as a performer.
Wow.
And that's all because of a haunter friend who got me involved with the performing side of Insomniac. So it was kind of haunters that helped me get into that thing too.
Oh, cool.
And I've also done like random pop-ups here and there. Like I did the Grinch last season for like 4 or 5 events to a friend that knew a friend that was a scare actor. So it's like scare acting kind of just got me involved in all these things, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, watching you on Instagram and seeing all the different things that you've been involved in has really been neat. Really been neat. All right, now I'm going to jump back into a little bit of background. And another part we like to ask, aside from your haunting background, is were you into horror at all prior to that? And is there a part in life that you can remember? Maybe it was a scary movie, your favorite scary movie, that kind of also helped inspire you to get into this industry?
Kat, we'll start with you, my friend.
Okay. Well, I've always been a fan of horror, and like I said before, it was because of my dad. My dad was a big horror fan. He wasn't a scare actor, but he even said, "When I retire, I want to be a scare actor like you." I laughed at that. And my favorite franchise is definitely the Saw franchise, and that wasn't what got me into horror. I think it was like Chucky and like the old Chucky movies, like Child's Play, like the old ones. And back then, like I wasn't allowed to watch like rated R movies, so I would secretly watch it. And then I remember I was watching, I think, Seed of Chucky, And then my little brother, he was like 7 years younger than me, was watching it with me. He was like, "Why are you watching this with your little brother in the room?" And I'm like, dang it. But definitely, if you guys know the movie, I forgot what movie it is, but it traumatized me. But for some reason, I liked it so much. I kind of forgot. It wasn't. It was Piranha. Piranha.
Oh my gosh,
Like
I haven't seen that one in a long
Long
time.
time.
God. No, my dad was watching it, and he's like, "Caitlin, come here." Or well, that's my real name, but yeah, he called me, and he showed me the scene, and this was me and I was a kid, and I was like, "What the heck are you showing me?" But for whatever reason, I'm like, okay, this is kind of cool. And then I started getting into more horror, and then I got into Chucky. I like the gory, like Chucky, and then I started I got into Halloween. I really like if you know Orphan. That's one of my favorite scary movies, like gore type. And then I got into the Terrifier movies, and the Texas Chainsaw. So yeah,
Oh, good.
my dad is my inspiration to horror. He is definitely my aunt even says, "You're just like your dad. You love your horror stuff." And
Parenting done right.
I know, right?
the Scary Farm when I was old enough. And what was the other I forgot. Like a memory or something, or I forgot.
Just what about, aside from wanting to do something spooky, usually there's something that triggers that in childhood, even though we probably didn't realize at the time that we were horror fans, because as a child, you just don't really know what that is. You just don't realize till you're an adult that you like spooky stuff and that there's this community for you. What do you think maybe inspired you in your childhood that is probably horror based? There's such a fine line right there. What do you think? And I think you answered it pretty good.
Yeah, it was definitely my dad. My dad is the biggest horror fan I know, and one day, hopefully, if I have kids of my own, I want to be like that for them. Like if you ever had a parent that decorated their house for Halloween, he decorated the inside and the outside, and I was so excited to help him. He would go all out, and he even won a few times for there's a contest in our old neighborhood back in Bellflower, and we would always win.
That's awesome.
Now
I
that-
think we would like Dad a lot.
I would say I have to ask: does he still decorate to this day?
He does. He does still, even though they just moved into a house recently in the desert in Cali. So he does still have his spooky stuff. He loves to decorate. He loves to make his spooky cookies, even though they're just the cookie dough ones. He just bakes them, and he loves decorating the house. I love seeing pictures. I love being a part of it.
Well,
And
you have to let us know where he's at, because we'd love to go visit his home and maybe grab some spooky cookies while we're there.
it's in a one of those 55 and older communities, but
Gotcha.
it's in the desert. I forget where, but I just love spooky season. He loves to decorate Christmas too, but Halloween is his favorite. And father like daughter. I mean,
There
daughter
you go.
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Tim, how about you, my friend? What got you into all this? What's inspired you? In
So
any
to be
horror
honest, I'm the
movies?
exact opposite. I hated horror movies as a kid. They scared the
Really?
ever-loving crap out of me.
Oh, I love to hear this.
Yeah, no, I was not a fan. I would have nightmares watching anything.
Oh,
And then as I
no.
got older, I just ended up liking them for some reason. I don't even remember how. But I think the first horror movie I ever saw was Pinhead,
Oh,
and
dear.
he terrified me as a kid.
That'll do it.
But yeah. But after I became a teenager and stuff, I kind of got over it. And basically, what Kat was saying, my favorite movie now is the Child's Play series. I will watch
Awesome.
those
Yes.
daily. Chucky is the GOAT. I just love his one-liners and just the random things he comes up with. And I'm like, if I had that kind of personality without the serial killer vibe, we could be friends.
We could be friends. I can see that.
Yeah,
That's
if he wasn't a serial killer and he was just a normal dude, I'd hang out with him.
Yes.
Okay, so we haven't watched yet. So since both you guys like Chucky, we haven't watched the series that they came up with. What do you guys think of the series? You recommend it or no?
Yes.
Well,
Good.
I loved it personally.
Really?
you?
Okay. We'll have to check it
I
out.
hated the movie though, where he was like Siri. Like the
Hmm.
most recent movie, he was like an Alexa, and it was stupid. At least in
Interesting.
my opinion, I thought it was garbage.
Kat, how about you? Do you recommend the Chucky TV series that just came out a while ago?
well, to be honest, I'm sad that they canceled. I think they canceled it,
Did
huh?
they end up canceling it?
I believe so, but
Oh, bummer.
I never got to finish it because at first I'm like, oh please, this is probably gonna be like a bunch of garbage or something. But I watched it and I'm like, okay, I'm digging it, I'm liking it. I especially like the part where he ages and gets really old. I'm like, and then he was watching a scene from Megan, and I forgot what he said, but he made some funny comment. I'm like, oh my god, that is the funniest thing ever. I definitely I didn't like it at first, but then like once things progressed, I loved it. But I didn't like the fact that they canceled it and the fact that I didn't get to finish it. So I was sad about
Bummer.
that. I honestly
Oh,
don't.
they pulled it like that, huh? I hate when they do that.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty decent. I'm not gonna
They
spoil.
should have to wrap up.
Yeah.
I think you
They
can watch.
should have to wrap it up somehow.
Yeah, I think you could watch it on YouTube. I believe that's where I watch it.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know where else you could watch it. I remember I was watching it on YouTube or yeah, on YouTube, yeah. But I personally liked it. And like Chucky is good as ever, and then not realizing that his daughter in real life was actually playing one of the characters.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And in the movie too, and one of like in the movies, if you've ever seen the previous movies, I'm like, because a friend of mine saying, that's his daughter, like his real daughter. I'm like, what? That's
Oh
his
no.
daughter. Then I saw the cast. I'm like, okay, yeah. Oh my god, I didn't see that one coming. That's
Wow.
really cool. I love that though.
How fun. We're gonna
I
have to
love
watch that.
Ash. I have a Chucky costume too that I've never opened, and I was supposed to wear it last year, but never did.
Oh, wow. That would be fun. You better take a picture if you do.
Yeah, it's a girl's version of it, but still cool.
I have a really cool Chucky hoodie that I got at Hot Topic. I think you saw it, right, Kat?
I believe so,
'Cause
yeah.
I wore it. Do you guys want to see it? It's
Yeah.
pretty
Please.
on the topic of Chucky. Like, why not?
Why not? Why not?
They do sell Chucky merchandise at our gift shop too.
Oh wow, look at that.
It's like
Hey,
super retro-ish,
Oh,
and
that's
there's a
fun.
knife in the pocket.
Look at it.
Wait, that's at Hot Topic?
It used to be.
Used to be.
Oh man.
There you go, the good guys.
I love
So
that.
fun.
Yeah, Chucky's my dude.
That
Yeah.
is so cool.
It's ironic that they have Chucky merchandise at our store for our haunt, and I'm just like, we don't even have Chucky, man.
I have Psycho stuff too, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Do they have the Hello Kitty Chucky too?
I don't.
Okay, I know it's big here in Hollywood, so I wondered
Yeah.
if it kind of yeah. The popcorn bucket this year they've got a Hello Kitty Chucky popcorn bucket that is pretty popular.
Yeah.
It's cool.
So Tim, taking it back to 2013, do you remember your very first scare or moment that you scared someone working as a monster?
Way too many.
Way too many.
That's also like 13 years ago.
I know. Did that moment, that first scare, stick with you, or it just kind of now there's just been so much time and so many haunts that it's hard to remember?
Yeah, it's pretty hard to remember. There is one I do remember though, because I still have the thing from that season. I don't know what night it happened, but I do remember that I still have the thing. So I don't know what year they stopped, but you know the games that they have in Knots where you can win like plushies and whatnot?
Yes.
Mhm.
So back then they had a Jack Skellington like pumpkin thing. It was like a pumpkin head with like his body on it. There was a kid in a stroller coming through the maze. I don't know why. I don't know why people bring their children in the first place, but this kid comes in and has it in his lap. I did my scare thing and he threw it at me. I took it and I just looked at him and I was like, "Do you want this back?" And he screamed, "No, leave me alone," or something along those lines. I have that plushie in a box in my
You're
closet in
kidding me.
California. No.
Today, still today.
Yeah,
That's
I
Wow.
still
crazy.
have it. It's
That
in a
Oh my
box with all my raver stuff because I built a 3D cuff around it with like Halloween perler beads.
Wow.
But
I
yeah,
don't think
I
I've
still
ever heard
have that
anything like
plushie,
that
which is
before.
pretty
no,
crazy.
that's the first.
That's a first
That's a
here.
first. Heard a lot of things, but that one,
That's
that's
a
a new
first.
one.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's like the one memory I have from that year. That, and then I also bought my costume the next season because the maze closed. And the way Knots works
Oh,
is you basically, if a maze or a zone retire, you can buy your costume from the previous year and you're the first person that's able to purchase it.
I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know that either.
Okay, that's a first too. No one's ever shared that with us on these podcasts before.
Wow.
Well, hopefully I don't get in trouble, Knots. Sorry. Um, But no, I was in Slaughterhouse and my costume was a jumpsuit that basically said Uncle Willie Slaughterhouse on it. I bought the jumpsuit, but unfortunately lost it somewhere.
Oh no.
If I still had it, that'd be like another big thing from that season.
That would be
That's
big.
really cool. I really like that. At least there's an opportunity as for you guys as a keepsake to keep it instead of it just being lost in the abyss or just being destroyed, which I'm sure might happen if they can't sell it to you guys. But how cool is that you guys have
Yeah, the
first
the
dibs on your
people that
costume?
the people that wear it get the first dibs, but if the person that wore it the previous year doesn't want it, they sell it like seasons down the road or something. But
Wow.
also if the maze is like moving to another Cedar Fair park, they
Ah,
won't sell it to you because they need to ship it to wherever that is, whether it be like,
true.
I don't know, I can't think of any Cedar Fair parks right now, but yeah, basically if it was to move the maze to another location, then they would
Mhm.
get the costumes and move them there. But if it's
That
not going anywhere, then it's like, cool, you get to buy your stuff. I
It's
think
just done.
it's processed
It's for
well.
sure done. Wow.
Yeah.
What about you, Kat? Do you remember from your first season your first scare or most memorable scare?
Oh my goodness, I got so many and
He's
just
like,
have
where do I start?
Take it away.
well, I will say I was in Scare Force. For those that don't know me, I was in Scare Force my first season last year. Um,
And what
and
does that mean? Explain what that means to someone that wouldn't know.
yeah, so I didn't even know what it was. I had to ask someone. So basically, I have Scare Force B. They have Scare Force A, which is the buffet where you scare at the buffet. I was Scare Force B, which is for the mazes. So basically, we're kind of like an extra. Like if like some people call out from the maze, or like every night you're like, oh, you're going to Chambers, oh, you're going to Slasher, oh, you're going to Mesmer, like stuff like that. I never went to Mesmer, so unfortunately, but basically we're like extras to replace the other monsters that call out sick or something like that. But I guess my memorable scare was one of them was in Widows. I was scaring with I forget her name. Marissa, yes. Yeah. So I was the last scare too. She was the second to last and I was the last. And I was like kind of like I didn't know, like I did like different scares because you get bored after doing one scare for like so long. So I pretended like I was a statue, and this big Asian guy comes out, and he was like, you could tell he was screaming, he's like, ah, ah, like screaming, like, oh, you could hear him from a mile away. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna get this guy good. So I go and hide, and after Marissa does her scare, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get him good. So I was basically like a parent, like, how are you doing? And he literally fell to the ground. He literally fell to the ground. And this guy was, and I felt so bad. And I tried not to break character, but I said in my voice, like, are you okay there, buddy? And he's like, oh yeah, you got me good. You got me good. And he gave me a fist bump. And I was like, Widows, thank you so much for that.
That is a good maze. Love Widows.
Yeah,
Love it.
I went there because my other friend Songbird, she hates spiders, so I'm like, girl, I got you. I like that maze anyway, so I'll switch with you. So I think I was supposed to go to Slasher that night or something, so I switched with her. But that was a fun night though. That was the last scare of the night too, and I got him good.
Now,
That's-
how long do you replay that over and over?
Oh, I told everyone about it, and apparently 2 of the other Scare Force B people got him too. It was the same guy.
You just knew he was coming.
Yes, we could. Dude, I was like laughing hysterically, and like I was just like, oh my god. Oh my god, that was like probably the best scare ever than all the other scares I can remember. Oh my god. Woo.
Incredible.
When they end up on the floor, for sure.
Yes. And I wasn't even trying. I was trying to be like all like funny because I like to be like one of those funny scare actors. I was trying to like pull a Bobbins or something, and I was like, "How you doing?" And yeah, and I was you just felt you could tell a guest is terrified when you just hear him screaming. Then I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna get him good."
I want to transition to I love how you guys come up with your haunt names, whether you made it yourself or they were given to you. Tim, how did you come up with your haunt name? Were you blessed with that? Let's get the little backstory, and then
Here we
also
go.
I love your guys' jerseys. We need a fit check here at the same time. So give us a little backstory, Tim, on your haunt name. How did you come to that one?
So before I do that, I actually just found a photo of the plushie I was talking about earlier.
Oh, please
I
share.
I have like albums from almost every year that I've worked a haunt on my Facebook. And so I was looking through my slaughterhouse photos and stumbled upon these two.
Oh, wow. That's so cute.
Those are
Wow.
the plushies I scared off of two different children, and it's the funniest thing
scared
ever.
off
I
them.
lost the giraffe, but I still have the pumpkin.
I love it.
A new tactic to take the toy away from the kid.
Right? So 2021, I was in Boardwalk, and this was me.
I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a group of clowns sitting on the planner, not like current ones, but ones from the past. And this little kid comes walking by me for some reason wearing a Progressive Auto Insurance shirt. Why? I don't know why people wear what they wear. And without even thinking about it, I said something like Aflac insurance is better or something along those lines. And I like had my duck and I threw it towards him. He fell right on his ass and just hit the floor. And there was like 9 clowns from the past sitting on the planner, and they all just looked at me and they all started laughing. And I'm like, okay. So I ran away, kept doing my thing for a little while. I come back and one of them just yells, "Hey, Affleck." And I like stopped and I'm like, is she talking to me? And I looked over and she's just like, yeah, I'm talking to you. And I'm like, oh Lord, is that what we're calling me now? And she's just like, yep. And they all agree. And I'm like, all right, I'll take it.
And it stuck.
It did.
It stuck.
It stuck
I
like bubblegum
love
to the bottom of someone's shoe.
and you can never change that name. You will forever be Affleck.
Pasta could change it if she wanted to.
I love it. And then you got to show us your fit here. What I love how you guys are sporting. You guys are rocking your jerseys
So
here.
I'm wearing gray shorts, but also like here's
At
the
least the
jersey.
jersey. Let's see the jersey, friend.
So it says going 20s.
We're in
And
20s.
then right
Yeah.
here is nothing. On this sleeve it says G20. And then on the back, I don't know how that angle's looking. Can you read it?
Good.
Perfect.
Cool.
Affleck.
Yep. And then the numbers or letters, whatever they are, is basically the Greek letters for GR. And
Okay.
if you know me from last year, I was a gin runner and growing
That's right.
20s. So I was like, you know what? I'll be different, and I put GR in Greek
I like
numerals on
that.
the
That's
back of my
clever.
That
jersey.
was clever. That was a
It
great
kind
choice
of
for you.
when I got the jersey, I went, "Oh, great! It says Lincoln Park on my back." Because it
Nothing
kind of
wrong with
looked
that.
like no, but it kind of looks like the Lincoln Park logo, which is also
Right.
kind
Yeah,
of funny.
I can see where you're going with that.
I love that. Very
What
cool.
about
Thank
you,
you,
Kat?
Kat. What's the backstory on your haunt name?
Well, first I'll show you my fit. I got my veteran hat, even though it's not mine. Thank you, Zozo, if you're watching, for giving me your lovely 8 of the 9 veteran hats, and then a jersey he gave me, even though it's not a street zone anymore. Fiesta, hey,
Yes, Fiesta Village.
yes,
Love
haunt,
it.
haunt history right there.
There you go.
So basically, my haunt name. Well, first off, I had a haunt name previously to Twerkules. I'll get into that. So basically, I didn't have a haunt box because Scared Force B wasn't required to have one. So I'm like, okay, I'll just bring my backpack. But some people from Scared Force did they either had their box from previous years. They're like, oh, it's easier. So I would always ask my friend Songbird. She was the first friend I met at Haunt, and I said, was like, hey girl, I'm really tired. Can I sit on your haunt box? She's like, yeah, sure, go ahead. And every night, I would say, can I sit on your haunt box? And then one day, 2 people from Scare Force B just look at me and they're like laughing. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, nothing. And they just look at me and be like, we have your haunt name. And I'm like, what is it? And they're like, Box Princess. I'm like, okay, I'll take it, because I would respectfully ask people if I could sit on their haunt box, because I know they said don't sit on other people's haunt boxes unless they give you permission. So I would ask them. And then I got my haunt name changed at March Madness this year before I left. And it's because if you guys knew me from Chilling Chambers, I I was in Club Chupacabra a lot. I was a punk rock zombie and I loved it in there. And the first night I went in there, the HC guy, Steven, said, you can either go in the boo hole, scare at the bar, or be one of the dancers. And one of the girls went on their break. I was like, I wonder what would happen if I twerked at the guest. So I did it, and everyone was like, she twerks. And I did it for all the guests, scare actors, and the managers, and they all laughed, dying laughing every time they saw me. And actually, I did it at every single maze that I went to after that. And actually, one person, I think from Waxworks, their last year, someone was like, you should be named Twerkules. I'm like, that's a good name. This girl that did Scare Force B with me, her name is Psycho Barbie, and before she got permanently in Bloodline, she's the one who gave me my haunt name in the first place. And then I asked her, I'm like, Psycho Barbie, I want to change my haunt name to Twerkules, and 3 other veterans second and third that, and she's like, okay, your haunt name is changed. Because I guess the rule is that the person who haunt named you has to like re-haunt name you, or depending on how many years they worked there, I guess. So I went to her and she said, okay, Twerkules it is. And I'm like, yes. I thought that was a better fitting name, but I have 2 haunt names technically.
Love it. Love it. Now, will you guys be given a new haunt name at the new haunt?
No,
No.
they don't do that.
Those don't
They
exist
do
here.
that.
They don't exist there. So I'm happy with the haunt name that I have, and if I happen to go back, I'm still that.
You're still that. Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. So it's just kind of territorial then to Knots.
Yeah,
Those aren't really a thing other haunted places.
yeah.
Like, they don't happen at Horror Nights. I think they do
Okay.
at Dark Harbor, but don't quote me on it. But it basically started with Scary Farm and is probably gonna die with
It
Scary Farm.
You're right.
feels more personal with Scary Farm, yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It does. It's a family feeling
Yes.
You know, and you can see it as a guest
Yeah.
between all of you guys. And then you guys even pull in your guests sometimes. You guys are all amazing. You guys are all amazing.
Thank you.
Now, taking your current place in your maze, not asking what you are, but if your character was to be on a dating website, what would their profile look like?
I'm laughing so bad right now. Oh
I
my
know,
god.
Kat, do you already know the answer to that one?
Yeah,
Give-
but I'll
take it away, Kat.
no. I gotta think about it. Tim, you can go first.
Okay.
I can't either.
Oh, well, so
I got nothing.
I
That's really funny though. I'll have to think about it.
Next time,
actually got-
Tim. Next time.
I got one for mine. So
All right.
Throw it at us.
I can reveal like what maze I'm in. I just can't say what character I am. You know.
Okay.
So I was blessed to be in The Exorcist, and
Very fun.
one of my characters is so me, I feel, because everyone, says like, there goes that crazy girl, and I'm like, and I like to, like, even with some of my fellow scare actors, I like, how you doing, sweetheart? I think my profile would be very interesting, but it would get the wrong attention. It would get the wrong attention. All, like, not even joking.
Very fun. I think what's really cool, and you guys should be like very honored and proud that you guys got to open a brand new haunt, a global name that is the HHN branding on it. Please explain to us what the feeling was like that opening weekend for the soft openings, media stuff. What was the energy? What was it like as guests were coming through that very first time experiencing something new that pretty much the world has never seen, a year-round haunt? I know there's smaller mom and pop ones, but this has got global recognition. Tim, what was it like for you being able to say that you opened this brand new haunt that's the new shiny object out there? What was that like?
When I went to orientation, I went, oh yeah, I'm back at Universal again, that's for sure. With the way orientation went, I was just like, yeah, I remember all this from let's say 10 years ago, however many it was. But yeah, getting back into my spot, pretty much, it was basically the same as 2015.
Gotcha.
Only the sets are different. They're shorter, but also it's basically the same thing that I did in 2015, just a different character entirely, if that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah.
Without giving away too much.
No,
But the mazes are basically built just like HHN mazes, only ours look amazing. So does the HHN Orlando. They look incredible.
Absolutely.
Yeah. This feels a lot more like HHN Orlando vibes than it does Hollywood.
Explain what's the difference between HHN Orlando and HHN Hollywood?
The queue lines for Orlando are insane. For Hollywood, they're great, but they don't have as much like decoration, if that makes sense. So like Hornets Hollywood has their facades, and those look really great. But then like when you're walking into the maze, you basically just pass the facade and then you walk right in.
Okay.
Whereas Orlando, you have the facade, which is like the very front of the maze. So like say for Exorcist, for example, you see like the house, and then you walk in and the entire line is set up like something different. Whereas Hornets Hollywood, like you walk through the facade and you walk straight into the maze, and there's not really anything in between, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Whereas here, you walk through the facade and you have like a line with just stuff everywhere.
Got it. Now, which do you prefer? Do you prefer HHN Orlando or HHN Hollywood?
Honestly, Orlando, But I will say I like the zones in Hollywood a lot more.
Yeah.
Like the theming behind the zones in Orlando is really cool, but I'm not a huge fan of like the stages. So like Orlando, their zones have like people roaming, but then they have stages with performers on them
I've seen
doing
those.
random scenes. Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
there'll be like someone on a platform with another performer and like they're killing each other or something like that,
Right. Yeah.
which I like, but when it comes to zones, I prefer just seeing people running amok in a specific area and just doing their thing,
I
if that makes
agree.
sense.
Yeah. Now that makes sense because then when you see someone on a stage, you think, "Oh, I need to stop and watch a show," and then it kind
Right.
of takes away the scare factor. It's like, okay, I'm not getting scared by anyone. I'm supposed to be watching a show. So, but yeah, I could see on
Yeah.
the flip side, maybe some people might want more of the atmosphere there. They want to be entertained at the same time. But
I
no, it's
like both though. Like I like HHN Orlando and Hollywood.
right, right.
I went to
Mhm.
Orlando for the first time last year and I was just blown away at everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then hats off to the HHN. I mean, just the company as a whole. That they got the moolah to to spend, so they really go all out with their houses, their zones, everything that they do is they really they put on a good show to say the least. So
Yeah,
definitely love it.
for sure.
Kat, how about you, my friend?
I forgot the question. What was it? Sorry.
What was it like opening day for you? How cool
Oh,
is it to say to you can brag, both of you can brag that you guys opened up this
uh,
world famous Las Vegas location, the first one, because I believe they announced now they're opening
Chicago.
more locations. But how cool is it? What was it like, Kat? Walk me through what was it like opening week or the events leading up to opening day for you?
so basically, I will admit I never opened anything before since my last season when I was just scared Force B, but I was like, oh my gosh, I get to open this, like whoa, and I was like one of the first group of scare actors too, and um and just experiencing this is just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And one of my um iconic characters in Exorcist, I got to do that. I'm still getting to do that for a period of time, actually, and the fact that for Media Day, I saw my face on 4 YouTube covers, and then one of the scare actors like, "You were the face of Exorcist." I'm like, and I was just, yeah, I saw myself, and I'm just like, hey, yes.
Yeah, I
But
want you to know real quick too. You've got some folks in here from Chambers saying hi. You've got RJ Clark in here, the
hey,
Spine Master. And I saw Saint Roughneck, Songbird the goat, she says.
hey,
um,
hey.
I think we may have more too. So just want you guys to know you guys have cast from Knots in here as well supporting you guys and
What
possibly
up, Scary Farm peeps?
What up, Scary?
from Universal as well.
Woo, what up, everyone out there? um, I love my haunt family so much. It's so amazing, the haunt community. And opening this, like opening day, like there was so much. Like we got they gave us donuts, pizza. They spoiled us. They
Oh,
Good.
fun.
and
Well, I got diabetes on opening day.
yeah, we got that. Dude, I will admit, I didn't have to worry about lunch for one day, and they made they made a cake for us too that had all the little houses, and I'm like, oh, there's Exorcist.
Oh,
That's awesome. That's good to hear. That's good to hear.
And it's also like I I don't like to brag either, but
Hey, Matt's here. Sorry to cut you off, but
no,
Matt
You're
from
please.
fine.
UHU is
You
here.
say your hellos.
forgot what I was gonna say. Crap. Dang.
They're taking care of you. They were taking care of you.
Yeah, there.
The cake, the exorcist on the cake, the
Yeah,
house on the cake.
I definitely took a picture with that. But the fact that, like, because I need contacts for my character too, and the fact that I come into work and put them on, and people are already scared of me, and I'm like, I'm not even in costume. I just have my contacts on. They're like, they look at me and they're like, whoa, and I'm like, hey, okay, I'll take it. And I did find there's another girl from Exorcist that I played two roles in Exorcist. Can't reveal, obviously. And one day, I think it was preview day, one of the preview days, we were just like, there's no guests coming around, so me and her were kind of like twerking back at each other. And I'm like, throw it back, throw it back. And it reminded me of Chambers. I'm like, this girl here, yes. But opening day was definitely like there was so many people. Someone from Slasher actually came from Knott's. You were saying it, Tim, like someone with a veteran hat. That was him. Yeah,
Yeah.
that came through, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing him though. I think I did, but
He zoomed by my room and I was just like, oh, there's a vet hat. Cool beans.
yeah, yeah. So definitely the first week was very tiring. It was, not gonna lie, but it was opening day was really fun though. I liked it, loved it.
If I can be real, this opening day was probably my favorite opening day that I've had in a very long time.
Oh, good.
Wow.
The guests were so like excited to be there and the night went so smooth. Like
Yeah,
it was beautiful.
yeah. It was definitely like a top a big day for us. I really enjoyed it too, and you know, I knew a few people that were coming from well, one person from Cali and then another person from Haunt, I believe, or that was a photographer from Haunt, and a lot of YouTubers as well. And uh you know, my friend and my friends were saying like, is this you, is this you? And I'm like, I mean, if you think it's me, then okay, it's me, but I could be any, literally. And I I really like, you know, it reminds me of my Scary Farm days. And actually, not like to give too much away, but there was a point where there were way too many guests, so my stage manager said like, just scare regularly, because there's a certain way we have to scare, but you said just scare regularly. So all of us, there's three people in my room, we went back to back to back. It sounded like a war zone, and we are like, where is all the screaming come from? Our room. I loved it so much. It like the other two girls, they call me like the crazy girl, because I am the crazy girl.
Now, after the media has gone and we've been open for a little bit, not too long, so there's still probably a lot of people coming. Do you find that this haunt is going to be kind of like Knott's, by means that it is going to be supported mostly by locals, or do you think it's going to be supported mostly by vacationers?
I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe a little bit.
Honestly,
How is the crowd different?
Can
Maybe a
you
little.
can you
well,
probably
I
tell
will
if
say
there's
it's
like
pretty
foreigners
much
in there or
it's pretty much just what you expect from Vegas.
the Vegas crowd?
People drinking and coming through.
People having a great time. Let's just say that.
It never sleeps, right?
No, definitely not.
How has been moving to Vegas been? You guys have both
No,
come
no.
probably from the Orange County area or surrounding, and that's a move to a whole new state. You guys picked up your lives and moved to be there and do this performing every day.
Mhm. Oh, hi, Matt.
Yeah.
I just realized that it's Matt from Haunt. I'm so sorry. I'm so slow. I'm just reading the comments.
Could you guys give any good advice for someone that probably thinking about, hey, look, there's a year-round haunt. I want to pick up and move. What has your both of your experiences been? That would you recommend something like that for anyone that's working here in Southern California? Would you say, you know what, give it a shot, come on out here and see how you like it? Well, any advice for either of you?
Um, so basically, it's been like really like unless you're well, from my personal experience, unless you have a like if you're moving with your partner or a good friend or you have family out here, I'd say go for it. But for me personally, I before Tim moved out here, I literally had no one. I didn't know anyone. I didn't have any friends. I was literally crying the first day that my haunt friends, when they dropped me off, I literally like, I was like, I don't like it here. And he's like, Kat, you've only been there for an hour. And I, like a few people know, like I've been like, really like down because like not having any family, like, I have friends at work. Shout out to to my all my haunt friends, like out here that
Him.
do help me out here too, and my haunt friends back at home, But it's been really hard for me to adjust because I was like hoping and praying. I'm like, I hope Tim gets it, so I have somebody out here.
There you go.
It's always nice to have a familiar face.
Yeah, because you know, uh, it's definitely an interesting experience. But for me, like I like being around people. I like being around my haunt family, my all like everything, because they're literally my family, my second home to come home to. And when you go to a new state and they're not there, and there's only so much texting and calling can do, it can get very overwhelming. And I remember the other day I just wasn't having it. I like literally broke down, and I'm just like, my stage manager was like, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I'm just having one of those days. And I know some people noticed, and I didn't want to like bum everyone out, but it was just really getting to me, and like half of my makeup was dripping down.
It's a big adjustment. It's a big adjustment. It takes time.
Yeah, shout out to the people who did reach out to me when I really needed it the most. And before Tim, I have like two like really good friends, or three technically good friends from this haunt, that they're very like, they check up on me periodically and sometimes also daily, and I appreciate them so much.
Very cool.
Friends are just imperative in this lifetime, and I'm so glad that you've got people to reach out to. I know we've got one friend there in town. I know he's in here yelling at the top of his lungs. He's like, "We're here, we're here." He says they need Jorge and I. So you guys know he's in here every day with us. Vegas Horror, also known as Mighty Mel. I know he's been through there a couple of times. He's documented everything, but there are some amazing people in Vegas. So I'm sure he's already finding you guys on the socials, but he's a great person to know in the Vegas area for sure, definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe out here versus Cali, because when I came here, before Tim got the job here, I was like by myself. I was in, to keep it brief, I was basically living in a storage closet. Tim saw it. He was like, you live here? And I'm like, unfortunately, but I got blessed and found a nice place to live, but unfortunately it's like 30 minutes from work. But I was not in a safe neighborhood. I was mentally crying every single night. I wanted to come home, but I couldn't. And they're like, well, give it until the end of the year. And I'm like, I don't want to.
It's hard sometimes to stick things out like that. It definitely is. It's such a change in every way. A change in every way. I can imagine the weight of that. And homesickness is real.
It is
very real.
It is so real, you guys.
Yeah.
You guys ever need an ear or someone to just listen, we're always right here. We're always right here. And sometimes the benefit of that is that we don't know the things, and that's how we can just sit there and just take what you need to offload in those moments. No, you're not alone. That's what's most important for us to know, is that you guys know you're not alone.
Thank you so much.
You guys are loved.
Absolutely.
I'm going to lighten it up a little bit here.
Yeah, please do.
All right. If you could design your own haunted attraction, what would the vibe and theme be? Let's go, Tim.
Tim's ready.
Oh, here's the guy I know who did Scary Farm for a while. His government name is Travis. His haunt name is Repeat. He's afraid of little people, which
Ah.
I find hysterical. It would just be insane to have a scare zone or a maze casted people the height of Chucky. Don't even know what characters I would want them to be, but just an entire maze filled with shorties would
I
be
love that.
hysterical and terrifying. I
Has
don't know
it
where I
been
would put
done?
it.
I don't think it's ever been
Has
done
it been
before.
done?
I don't think so.
Like I know they've
But
done a Chucky maze before, but I get what you're saying. I've never seen anything like that before. Now I'm thinking about that. I'm like, that would terrify me.
Welcome
yeah,
in,
imagine you you walk through a maze and then there's a little person on like bungees that just jumps out and you're like, what the heck? You walk and then there's a table and a little person crawls out from underneath it. It was just nightmare fuel.
Absolutely.
Nightmare fuel, yes.
And it can be themed anything, like dolls. Everyone's got a fear of dolls. And like those can just be walk around creepy dolls that come to life. Like
You could literally go so many directions with that.
I
And it would be
love that
hilarious to
idea.
see. Yeah.
I absolutely that's a good one, Tim. I got to remember that. Hey, HHN, if you're listening,
I know, right?
royalties to Tim right here.
Yeah.
Very fun. I
Um
love that. Very, very
Also,
cool.
if I may, I didn't really express my whole like transfer from California to
Yeah,
Oh,
Vegas
please,
thing.
yeah. Go for it.
Sorry, not. So
Mm-mm.
I literally was leaving my fitting for Scary Farm when Horror Unleashed called me and they were like, "Hey, is Tim there?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Cool. This is insert name here from Universal Hollywood. I'm calling on behalf of Horror Unleashed. Do you still want the job?" And I was just like, "Oh, what timing?" And I was just like, "Yeah." And they were like, "Cool, your orientation's on Monday." They called me on a Thursday, so I literally had the weekend to
Oh my
pack up
god.
what I could, find a place to stay, and get my butt out here. Thankfully,
Wow.
my friend Brandon took me in, and so I was with him for a while. And then my buddy Kyle, who's over there somewhere, um, let me move in with him, so I'm staying with him now, only like 2 miles away from work, whereas Brandon was in Henderson. So a
Uh,
good 20-ish minute drive. And I don't have a car right now. So like getting there has been kind of crazy. So shout out to Richard for giving me a ride home every night.
Awesome.
Uh,
Awesome.
but yeah, it was kind of just an overnight thing where I'm sitting in
So
my
the
room.
call came
After,
Thursday, and you had to be there for orientation on Monday.
yeah, but I came out on Sunday because my orientation was at 9 a.m.
yeah.
So
So
you
I
just
literally
literally
had like
had
2 days to just be like, cool, 2 suitcases, goodbye.
wow. Wow.
It was quick and just out of nowhere because I auditioned back in March. So I was waiting for a cool minute.
Oh wow. That's a
I
long
was this
time.
close. Yeah, I was this close to just giving up and expecting it not to happen and just continuing going 20s.
So you just mentioned you were at your fitting for Scary Farm, correct? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Wow. That it was
Sorry,
like
not.
Yeah. That had to have been a tough moment I mean, the need for a quick and decisive change to either
Oh,
just
it for sure was. And at the time, I still worked at the train at Knott's too. So, and I had a shift the next day. So
Oh
I did my
man.
fitting, had to work the train the next day, and then told everybody there, So I'm leaving on Sunday to go to Vegas, and they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm joining Cat." They were like, "Oh," I'm like, "Yeah." So I left Knott's. I also worked at Olive Garden as a server, and I left there. And then I also had like a random job with Allied Universal Event Services where I would work like D23 and stuff. I basically told them bye as well.
Wow.
So you had a lot of people you had to say bye to, or a lot of companies, a lot of jobs that you had
loose
to,
ends to tighten up and go.
unfortunately, not
I was
give at least a week notice. You gave like a few days notice.
A day.
so
Like
I
on the
actually,
spot.
sorry, Knots. I emailed them after I was in Vegas already and told them,
Wow.
Wow.
That had to
and
have
I
been
gave
hard.
away shifts, and I was just like, well, don't hate me, Knots. In case something happens and I end up coming back.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it was a pretty quick decision.
What a unique story. And how's your time been with Vegas so far? How's the adjustment been for you?
I hate the heat here, if I'm being real.
It's
At least you're
uh,
honest.
I can't get used to it being 100 plus in August. I'm just like, what? And then walking outside in the middle of the night and like, God, I want to take my shirt off so I can get a suntan. Like,
Yeah.
it's weird being like 90 at 2 p.m. or something. It's like this is odd.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
heat.
I can't
The
wait for
heat is
the heat
hard
to
to
go
adjust
away.
to. It's very
Yeah.
hard. I don't know that you ever actually, because it's hot where we live, substantially more hot than Orange County. And I've been out here for since 97 and I still walk outside every day and I'm like, I'm like, turn off the heat lamps, please. Let me get to my car. It's hard. I don't know that you actually ever adjust to it. It's hard.
But it must be nice because now you guys are doing what you love. You're scaring people, but you guys are in a controlled atmosphere, controlled environment, meaning controlled from the elements. I because when haunt starts, it's September. It's still warm
It is
here.
warm.
There's been days where we've been going through, and I'm like, I don't know how you guys do it
Yeah.
in the heat, even though when the sun's down, it's still hot outside for you
Mhm.
guys. I'm sure it's probably been a blessing. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure they blast the AC for you
Oh
guys.
yeah, no. So not without giving away too much information, but I'm in 3 of the
Sure.
houses. Universal Monsters is like an ice box. I was there on Monday. I got down there and I was just like, hey, I need a blanket.
See something you're not
A
used
good
to.
change of pace, maybe.
Oh yeah, no, like running around Goring and Boardwalk and Forsaken and just all the zones I did over there, and then the 2 mazes, I was always sweating and just like, God, why is it so hot?
Yeah. Yeah.
Here I'm just like, oh, goosebumps. It's just breathing, which I don't mind because it's hot AF outside. So like being able to do my thing and be cold at the same time is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
you can always maybe wear an extra layer underneath to help keep warmer. It's harder to cool down.
Yeah, I wear Under Armour underneath all my stuff
That's
just
a
as
good
like an
idea.
added layer, but I don't go crazy like some of these people. Like there's a dude in one of my mazes that wears like Under Armour and 2 shirts and then his character shirt, and I'm like, how? Why? What are you doing? You're gonna like burn up. He's like, it's cold, man. I'm like, valid.
Yeah. So, being through all the stages of haunting that you have been through, for the person that's watching right now or listening later on Spotify or wherever you guys may take us in, what is one piece of advice you would give to someone who wants to get into haunting? And I want to add a second part to that. What is another piece of advice that you would give to someone that would uproot their whole life and move to haunt?
So, when it comes to auditions, if you don't look stupid, you're not doing it correctly.
I like that.
And I will stand by that. Like and also the big thing is don't hesitate. If you walk into the room and say there's judges sitting there, like 4 or 5 of them, whatever, and they say, all right, I want you to be a zombie. If you stand there even for a millisecond and think about it, they're just going to be like, okay, they can't improv, and 80% chance you're not going to get it if you stop and have to think about it.
Hmm.
They want you to just be able to snap right into whatever it is they want you to do. And since I've worked so many haunts, every audition has been kind of different.
Huh.
This one was probably the most intricate, and I loved that about this one.
Really?
Whereas Scary Farm, they basically line you up and you do this, then this, then this, and you're done. And then you walk up to the table and the judges are like, cool, this is where you're going for the year. Horror Nights, Hollywood at least, they basically say, okay, you're going to do this, and then they give you a yellow piece of paper if you're in consideration. Dark Harbor, they have you stand in the middle of the room. They form there's one guy in the middle of the room. They form a circle around you, and they're walking, and they basically just point, and they're like, okay, you just act like your sister died, and go, whatever. So like everything is very different, and you gotta be like mentally ready to just snap into whatever they want you to like show them, if that makes sense. So like just don't think about it and go as hard as you possibly can. Like every audition I've attended, I've left with a bruise or like a broken fingernail or something, just because I'm like, let's go, time to get crazy.
You left it all there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have bruises on my stomach from UHU, for example.
Wow.
That is incredible.
Wow.
Wow. Crazy, crazy. Very cool.
And I like that advice, though.
That's some really good
Yeah,
advice.
That's good advice.
Very good. Kat, how about you? What advice can you give for these up and coming characters that one of these years they're going to watch this podcast, go, I want to do what Kat's doing. What can you give to our future characters that are watching?
Basically like what Tim said, yeah, if you don't act stupid, you're not doing it right. And I going with the audition, what I did, because I watched, and I didn't realize this was not Knott's Network. I thought this was just like a random person just shooting the video, but I watched an old video, like a 2013 video, where they would grab like 5-6 people and put them in a room for the Scary Farm auditions. And I realized like, oh, that's Knott's Network video. And I watched that video every single year saying, okay, in case I did go to Scary Farm, I'd say watch audition videos, practice, like get into a character. What I liked, I mean, the fact that I didn't even get to audition this year, because I found out that I got the job 3 days before my audition date, I was surprised and kind of disappointed at the same time. I'm like, great. But the two people from Goring, Camille and Court, did like a little pre-audition a few days before our actual auditions for Scary Farm, and they went through the whole process, and I loved it. And it was basically like an in-person audition. And, we acted all silly, acted stupid and weird, they're like, one of them I liked was like, say, welcome to Not Scary Farm. And the creepiest voice was it in, I said it in the most demonic voice. I'm like, welcome to Not Scary Farm. and then Camille was like, and then we, and every year that I thought that I was going to audition, even though I didn't, I would watch that same video of those people. And what I recognized one of them. One of them was in Goring 20s, Ryan. And then I saw him. I'm like, I saw you from the video from like, I don't know if it was 2013 or it was like an old video though. They don't do that anymore. But I would watch that video and I would see their movements. I would see like, okay, act like a clown, act like a werewolf, act like a zombie. And I would like, portray those characters. And I would act like a zombie more because I can kind of like, tweak my body a little bit more. And, also advice is don't afraid to look silly. Don't be afraid to make noises with your voice that sound ridiculous. Like I watched my audition video for UHU and I'm like, oh my God, that is so cringy. But I mean, it worked. They hired me. But yeah, like definitely have fun with it. Act silly, act crazy, go all out. There's no such thing as a bad audition. Like, some people may act, more different than the other, but I like to like be more crazy with it. Like, act like what they call me at work, the crazy girl, like from The Exorcist. I'm like the craziest girl in The Exorcist, pretty much, is what
I
they call
love
me.
it.
Everyone gets scared when they see me. They're like, "Get away from me, girl!" They put like the little freaking cross signs on. But yeah, that's my advice. And what was the other part of the question? Something with your whole life, or
Yeah, you guys picked up your whole life. You changed your whole life to move to Vegas for this full-time haunt. What
yeah.
would you tell somebody considering the same thing?
So basically, I mean, it's unfortunate for Tim. I'm sorry, Tim, that you had to do it that way. But fortunately for me, I had 2 weeks because I got the call in the middle of June, and this was 3 days before my audition date. I remember my audition day was June 14th, and I got the call on Wednesday. And they're like, "Congratulations, you got the job," and I'm like, oh my goodness. So, like try to prepare for it. I had to like look for places. I didn't know anyone out there, and I did the next best thing. Look for Airbnbs, but look for a reasonable one, not the one that
Yeah.
it was the cheapest one I could go for. That was close to work. But when you're transitioning wherever you are from there to here, I'd say plan it out. Plan it out if you can, because I actually had a job. I got offered another job in Cali that I kind of wish I took in a way, but I was like, this is my dream job. I got a better offer in Cali, and it was part time though. And they're like, "Oh, we wanted to say congratulations, you got this job." I'm like, "I'm sorry, I already got offered a full time job." They're like, "Oh, we'll change it. Well, I talked to so and so, so we'll give you full time." And I'm like, and I still didn't take it.
Oh.
So I'm like, but I didn't want to like leave with any regrets either. I didn't want to be like, oh, that could have been me. But you know, a lot of people said I was crazy for doing this. A lot of people said you have balls, you have guts to do this. Most people wouldn't do this. So I'd say if you get an opportunity like this and you love it, I'd say go for it. Just I I plan it a little bit. Because if you don't know anyone out here, then I don't know.
Yeah.
It was I had a little bit more time, so I had time. I had 2 weeks to like be like, okay, where am I gonna live? What am I gonna do? How is this gonna work? Basically.
Got it. Kat, my apologies. I don't even think we got your answer to the previous question. If
Oh,
you could design your own haunt, your own haunted house maze, what would you come up with? If you can design your own, what characters would be in there? What would the theme be? What can you create for us?
ooh. I love this question so much. So knowing me, I'm like more like the funny. I feel like I that's why I wished I got Carnival. Like I'm not gonna be like too confident, but I'm gonna say if I did go to my audition for Scary Farm, they're gonna be like, you got Carnival. And I bow my head and be like, thank you, my lords. But I want to say that my attraction would definitely be a bunch of clowns, and they definitely be throwing it back at you. It would be like a bunch of like clowns and punk rock zombies from Club Chupacabra, and they'd be doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Definitely for sure. And I don't know the name of it, but man, that would be an interesting maze to go to. I love that.
That sounds fun.
Love
I
it.
like both of those ideas,
Thank you.
preferably in the same place.
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Your scare style, would you say you prefer being terrifying, creepy, or funny when you scare?
Tim, how about you? What are
Here
you
we
maybe
go.
you're all of the above. Are you all of the
I
above?
actually, I actually have been. So when I was in Boardwalk for the first year, I was just being a silly little guy with my freaking duck. And it was funny because half the time I would scare people. And Vertigo, who's been in Boardwalk since I started there, and I think he still is, if I scared somebody with the duck, he would insult them by saying, "You just got scared with a bath toy. How do you feel?" And stuff like that. And it was like the funniest thing ever. Plus, it doesn't even make squeaking noises. So people expected it to like do something, but it didn't. And I would just, whatever. And then the second year I was in Boardwalk, I decided to be very gross. Um, that year, I actually was given like a different haunt name that ended up not even sticking for whatever reason. But the very first Sunday of the year, if Matt is in here, um, or not Matt, Will, my bad. Um, some guest handed him or Banana a real worm, like an actual worm. It was like wiggling around and everything. I decided for whatever reason to eat the thing.
Oh.
Yeah, let's just say I regretted that decision.
Oh
Um,
no.
yeah, I was in front of the planners closest to Johnny Rockets, and Banana was sitting down on the planner itself because he had the day off, and like Will came up with a worm and handed it to him or something, and it ended up back to me. And for whatever reason, I just said screw it, and I ate the thing, and then everybody in the area was just like, "What?" Because like it was a real one, so it was disgusting. And probably 10 minutes later, I ran into the break room, downed water, and was puking up water for like 15
Oh.
minutes.
Oh
And
no.
then Neil, also known as Teddy, who's now in Ghost Town, good stuff, sir. Um, him and somebody else decided to change my name momentarily to Earthworm Tim, which was
I don't know which
hilarious.
one I like better.
Yeah, that jersey, I got a jersey with that on it, and it's back in California right now. But that was really funny. And
Love
then
it.
the following year, I was in Forsaken Lake, and I had like been given a 3D printed centipede thing. So I was walking around with that hanging out of my mouth for a good chunk of time. And I also bought like it was either 50 or 100 pack of like fishing lures that were worms, like the fake ones, and would walk around with them in my pockets and would every so often pull them out and just put them in my mouth and just be like, I caused Ruslin, who's in, I think, Chilling Chambers this year. I made his mom so disgusted that she left the zone entirely, and it was beautiful.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was great. And I did cause someone to actually throw up in the zone because I shoved it in her face and just made these gagging noises, and she hated me for it and
Oh,
actually threw up in the zone, and we had to have park services
Oh no.
come over and clean vomit up off the ground. And it was hilarious.
and see,
So
you're
yeah,
just
20,
doing your job, right?
right, being
You're doing it really
disgusting.
well.
And then last year in Goring, I basically was just mean and a bully, and it was funny because I punked the like preachers around. They had picket signs that said like "reject the devil's elixir," and I would steal their sign and run away with it. And I had my elixir bottle, and I would like dump it on their heads and stuff like that. Not really actually dumping anything on them, but it was funny. So I went from being like super silly with a rubber duck to disgusting with worms to just being a jerk to some of my castmates. Like I have photos of pretty much all of it,
Well, I was gonna ask Tim, with
except
with
the
cameras in our hands these days, and with guests with cameras at any given moment, was there no footage of you downing that worm, the real worm? There's got to be footage of you somewhere out there. None.
unfortunately there isn't.
No one captured that moment in time.
No,
That's a
they
bummer.
didn't. I do have a video of me eating a grasshopper though, which is kind of hilarious. Uh,
Rosy
if
Posy.
I can,
Is there
if
anything
I
you
can
don't
find it.
eat, Tim?
Stuff that's healthy.
That's right,
Here we go.
diabetes, right?
Yes.
OMG, look at that. Holy cow.
Ugh.
Earth,
That was good.
Earthworm Tim. I love it.
A grasshopper, but yeah,
But that's
tongue
the
out and everything.
grasshopper.
Yeah,
I
Wow.
remember that
I did that in
character
front of somebody
for
purposely so they would record it. But yeah,
Look
me
at
in
that.
character, I would just eat anything. Like I don't know why.
Nothing's off the table, huh?
Not really.
So you're the guy where if we dared you, like you would probably do it, or if anyone dared you at the party, you'd be like, "I'll do it."
I ate a century egg for a TikTok video, if that means anything.
for a TikTok.
Hey, things go viral like that.
I'll tell
So
you, you never know. You never know.
TikTok famous.
Oh my God.
I'm
Thanks
really
for
not.
sharing, Tim. I love that. Kat, how about you, my friend?
I am definitely more of the funny characters. Definitely, like if like anyone in the chat knew me back at Scary Farm, they knew that in Club Chupacabra I was the twerking punk rock zombie, and I had a few people catch me on video twerking at them. I'm like, hey, let's go. I am, even with this character that I'm in right now, an exorcist, I am really creepy, but I can be really funny too. Before I even started Haunt in 2024 last year, there was a scare actor that used to scare, and I wish I met him. He was like so funny, and I got my I didn't take his jokes, but I would try. I was like, I want to be funny like him. I think I forgot what his name was, but he was very popular. Or Art Dracula, something like that. But he reminded me of Bobbins and Lala, and there was a video that reminded me of the SpongeBob movie, and it was at Six Flags. I remember, and all the clowns were just like, ah, ah, and like it was like, he's bald, bald, bald. And then this guy was just like, he recorded the whole thing. And I started doing that to guests too. I started becoming more vocal. And every time I saw a bald guy or a guy that looked like he was bald, he's like, "You're bald! Everyone look at him, he's bald!" And what's funny is I was in Slasher one night and I did that to my friend's dad without even realizing it. And she was like, you know, that was my dad, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's okay. He laughed and he ended up getting me a ride home that night too. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he's like, it's okay. I liked it. I know we're not supposed to be vocal with our characters, but sometimes like I point at them, like I point at their head, I like go, and but it's only like when people aren't recording. I'm like, oh my god, guys, he's bald, my eyes, and I'd run away, and I'm like vocal with my characters. I was very vocal when I was a slasher. By the way, fun fact, for any of the slasher people or who love slasher, I know what one of the scare actors I work with helped build Cinema Slasher, and I was like, damn, okay. And I told one of my
I love it.
and I was like, impressive. Yeah, he showed me. He had his name on it, and he went through the maze. But anyway, yeah. So I like to be very funny, creepy a little bit. I like to I mad dog them and go like, like a little rock star I am. I guess I like to like low key flirt with guests, but only if they're not couples. If I see them by themselves, I'm gonna target them, especially because last time I did that at Scary Farm, I didn't realize he was with his girlfriend or wife or whatever, and he's like, "Oh hell no, you better not take my man." I'm like, "Okay, that was a joke. I'll just target guys that look like they're single."
But causing breakups is the funnest part.
I know. Or there was a line where I said, like, in total character, I'm like, "You want to come home with a real woman tonight?" And he was like,
Wow.
Troublemakers.
the guest reaction was so funny. He was like, mm-hmm. He was like, or some people are like, oh heck no. But yeah, that I like to be creepy funny, like in that sense. And I definitely love to be vocal, even though I can damage my vocal cords from it.
Yeah, I get that. I can't talk for too long and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, same. Someone gave me a cough drop in 2022 because I had lost my voice. It was really funny. A guest handed me a cough drop, and I was like, "What?"
Oh.
It's funny you bring that up because
Yep.
we had on a previous episode, one of our guests was saying, like, it's kind of leading into my next question. It's like a good segue here. Is um, one of the tricks of the trade is the cough drops. They say always have cough drops with you. They get you through haunt season every single
Never
year.
used one.
Never used one, huh?
Nope.
You just
The
don't
one
get
they
sick.
gave me, I literally was just like, "Cool, thanks." Because at the time, I didn't even know who they were, but now I'm friends with them. Kind of ironic.
They were
But
they were saying instead of giving out stickers that we need to find a way to do branded cough drops.
Cough drops
to give the monsters cough drops.
for the haunt monsters. Yeah.
We're still working on
We're
it.
working on it. But for anyone that's currently working haunt out there, I know everyone's always looking for new, unique, creative ways or what just is there any advice you guys can give to current characters out there that are watching? Any good tricks of the trade that keeps you guys going? You guys gotta, I know you have to reinvent yourself kind of day after day now. This is a year-round haunt for you guys. You guys got to keep going. This isn't a seasonal job. You guys are doing this year-round now. Kat, we'll start with you. Any tricks of the trade you can give to fellow haunters out there that you've known and discovered through the years?
Well, definitely my first season, I'm a very sensitive person, so I guess at first, I kind of took things to heart and sensitive, and then some, veterans would tell me like, "Oh, they're dumb guests. Don't take it too personally," because I've had people flip me off. I've had people like say, "Ew, you're gross." Say, have like, people are gonna insult you. People are gonna do all sorts of crazy things to you. And what I usually do is I like to I like to think of haunt as my therapy, like how, you can act crazy and no one's going to think anything. They're just going to think that's her character. No, I'm acting like myself. Basically, I get to get paid to insult people for fun.
There you go.
And what I usually like to do is when I, especially, when I'm having a hard day, I'm like, okay, let's scare these guys. Let's really get them. Let's grind. And I just like to, like to talk to my fellow haunt actors, especially veterans, because, I know a lot of them, they've been like groped, punched, smacked, everything you could think of. And I'm like, well, if they can do it, well, but then again, it's not for everyone, but the ones who do want to keep going, I'd say just brush it off. Like that guest, you're never going to see him again, unless like they keep coming back, I guess, but you can still terrorize them. But I like to, like, in a way that's like respectful. If someone insults me, I like to make a little bit of an insult or a joke back, but in character without breaking character. If that makes sense. Like this these one girls that came in the other day, one of them, told me I was number one in the most meanest way possible, if that makes sense.
I follow you.
And in character, I was literally like saying like, I'm not letting you leave until your friend is nicer to me. And then and she's like get rid of it. And like she eventually didn't. She basically was like, F you. And I'm like, you too. If that helps, then maybe, but if a guest makes you mad or whatever, just brush it off. You're never going to see them again. Just hope that one of your other fellow scare actors scares them or, gets them. And when you scare someone that you don't like, points for you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
It's that there's a different side. It's not always fun scares is sometimes you guys do run into the rude and the demeaning and the rude, just and how you guys deal with that. And I commend you guys for that. That's not an
Yeah,
easy part of what you do day in, day out.
By the way,
absolutely.
hi. She said hi to me.
Hello. Tim, how about you? You've been doing this for so many years. You are a veteran. I'm sure you're looked up to all the younger rookies there. If I can put it nice, rookies, right? What's some good advice you can give as far as haunt in general goes? What's a good takeaway you can give someone? What's a good golden nugget you can give to a fellow haunter?
So, aside from the auditions, I would say hydrate as much as possible. And during the night, eat. I never do, which is my biggest downfall. I literally work my shift and then go home and eat after I'm done. But I drink so much water, it's insane. And sometimes energy drinks. But it's that literally make sure you're hydrated and stretch as much as you possibly can. But also, like Kat said, if somebody comes in and they're like extremely rude to you or they hit you or whatever the case is, you're most likely never going to see them again. And the people that are like diehard haunt fans and come to the event over and over and over, they know better than to act like that. So
Mhm.
they're not someone you have to worry about. It's the people that are like, "Oh, I'm just gonna go once," and then they act like a jerk, and you're like, "Cool, bye, never gonna see them again." That's pretty much my thing. Is yeah, just ignore the jerks because 9 times out of 10, they're not coming back.
Very true.
And if it is someone that's like, say, a Scary Farm pass holder that does that, you'll remember them because you'll be like, "Oh, you flipped me off the other night, and you're back again. Get out of my face."
There you go.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah. You're always going to have the
And
one that ruins it for the many.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. Well,
Good
I
to
know we always like to talk about one thing at the end of every podcast.
Yeah. First of all, thank you guys both so much for coming on to this seventh episode of the Fogcast. It was uh, very fun episode to hear. Other than not Scary Farm, a
But
brand new
still
haunt,
also,
but we
yeah.
did cover quite a bit of knots here as well. So, first of all, thank you both for spending your evening with us. And I kind of like to wrap this one up with we both come from a place of gratitude in our lives. We're so grateful every day of what we have and what we don't have, and it's always it sets the day up for success when we look at a life like that. Questions for both of you is what are three things that you guys are both grateful for right now? Kat, we'll start with you. What are you grateful for?
Um, I'm really grateful for my haunt family, both here and back at home. More at home because I have a big support system. I'm happy just to be in this opportunity, even though it really gets hard sometimes. And then the third, I'm grateful to just be alive, doing this and doing what I love finally, you know?
That's awesome.
Love
That's
it.
awesome.
Great
Doing what you
answer.
love.
Thank you, Kat. Tim, how about you, my friend? What are three things you are grateful for right now?
Honestly, like the one thing when it comes to haunting in general, I always give Naaman, aka Virus, a shout out because without him, I would not be in this world because he himself got me into it that first day I saw him at Scary Farm in Ghost Town and he came up to me. So thank you to Naaman. Also, just the fact that I've been able to do this so long has been so crazy, even though I've like jumped ship a couple times. And also the fact that I was offered to open this event in general and able to scare year round, even though I know it's going to be taxing on my body,
Yeah.
as well as to Kyle for letting me crash with him, and then Brandon, who did prior to that,
Yeah.
and then you guys as well for having us on here,
Oh, yes, definitely. Thank
Thank
you guys
you.
so much.
and then Kat for being like my probably one out of like four Cali friends that I know.
Yeah, I got you.
We are thankful for you and how neat to have come into this community as people who just wanted to share with others through the ability to turn on a camera and not expecting to get to know you guys in some way, shape, or form. But now to get to watch your guys' life change, progress, and go from the haunt we got to know you at, and now this new experience in Las Vegas that's year round. And we can't wait to come see you guys do your thing there. And we are grateful for you and for you being on here tonight, sharing your guys' story with us and everybody, be it on YouTube or listening in their car radio tomorrow on their way to work. We're grateful for your time.
And real quick, where can we go ahead and plug yourselves, your socials, whatever you guys do?
Find you?
Where can we find you guys on all the socials?
Mine
here?
is right there.
And for people listening, you are on Instagram at.
Go ahead and go ahead and say your name out loud. Since this is a podcast, go ahead and say where we can find you.
So Instagram, Tim_D_Ballard. And then on TikTok, it's Timber with 2 U's and 2 R's, as well as Twitch. Yeah,
Awesome.
Those are pretty much the only ones that I use to like keep in touch with haunters and fans and whatnot.
Perfect.
Awesome.
And Kat, how about you, my friend? Where can your biggest fans find you out there on the internet?
So my Instagram is right there. Cool Calico plays piano. Or you can just look up Kat Ruiz and you can see my pretty little face.
Awesome.
I'm on Facebook, Kat Ruiz, and then TikTok, Kat Ruiz. You'll see my picture. And I believe, that's it. TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook.
Very cool.
You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your journey, the ups, the downs, the auditions, the hard times in the mazes, the good times on the streets, the gross times. You guys are spectacular. We're excited to see where everyone goes this new season, and then coming to see you guys here soon. Hopefully in November. That's the goal. To see you guys in your new home in Vegas.
And congratulations to the both of you for a successful opening over in Las Vegas, Nevada, HHN. We are so excited. I'm sure you're gonna have a ton of people coming over there watching you, especially once haunt season's over and there's nothing to do. It's gonna be busy over there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be busy. So, but we're huge fans of both you, and we wish you all the best in your future lives, whether it's scares, whatever you guys do. We're going to follow you through your journey in life. So thank you guys once again for being with us here tonight on the podcast. We appreciate you.
We're going to put you backstage, but don't go away.
Thank you.
Okay.
Everybody say goodbye to Tim and Kat.
Bye, everyone. Thank you for watching.
Bye, y'all. See you
Bye.
soon. I also got like 5 Instagram follows through this video. So
awesome.
Thank y'all.
Awesome.
I don't know about me. I haven't checked.
She's going to check.
She's blowing up.
You guys go give these guys a follow and watch their journey. All
Thank
right.
you.
Here we go. And 2.
Right.
All right.
That was great.
That was really good.
That was incredible. I was so excited to hear from outside of Scary Farm, outside the walls of NOS and we haven't even been there. We have not even been to HHN Las Vegas. So I'm so excited. We're both excited to check it out. Hopefully in September and November this year. So
I know when we're going through
our haunt withdrawals.
The haunt withdrawals, it's a true thing. It's like a literal depression after Halloween.
It really is.
We now have somewhere to go and something to look forward to, and 2 faces to recognize them in that place. So that's pretty exciting.
But thank you all so much. Thank you, everyone that showed up in the chat tonight. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to our moderators. We appreciate you so much for taking care of that. And I think that's about it, right?
I think so. Thank you guys that are in the haunt community that showed up today for your friends. It doesn't go unnoticed. And we're coming up onto a new season. So we're going to definitely have a lot more to talk about, a lot more people to talk to. We've got a couple shows lined up. We've got an awesome makeup artist coming to talk to you guys. Another really long time haunt actor. He's been in it for I can't even tell you how many years and how much experience this guy has. So we're excited to talk to him as well. So stay tuned. And we'll probably have some hard weeks coming up. As you guys know, everyone is either going to be working really crazy hours. We're going to be up working crazy hours, getting into these haunts to share with you. Hopefully 3, 4, 5 days a week. If we can, we'll do as much as we can. So there might be a month of silence on the FogCast, but we'll get right back to it as soon as the season's over. But we do have hopefully another episode before that starts. We're working on, obviously, Knott's Berry Farm, HHN, Howlow Scream, and maybe some other fun ones. So stay tuned for that live. Set that notification bell. And
don't forget, you guys can also find us here on YouTube, on Spotify,
Amazon Music,
Amazon, and
Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio.
So wherever you listen to podcasts, make sure you tune into those as well. So thank you guys so much. And as we say, we will see you all
a little later
in the fog.
Good night, guys.